Have you ever wanted to take a photo like this, and with one click of a mouse turn it into a photo like this? Well, unfortunately, that's not really how it works. But by using Lightroom presets to edit your photos, you can make it feel a lot like one-click magic. What is up, people? Donna here. If you're new to the channel, I do lots of stuff about photos and videos and just have a lot of fun over here. So make sure you subscribe if you want to see more like this, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you have fun along the way. Today we are talking about using Lightroom presets to edit your photos. I've been getting bombarded lately with people asking me how I edit my photos for Instagram and the photos that I show you guys in my videos. And while I do plan on making more videos about Lightroom and photography and that kind of stuff to show you guys my process, I thought in the meantime, why don't I just make my presets available to you guys so that you can get my looks on your photos with just one click. So before I get too far into teaching you guys how to use presets and what my process is with presets, I'm happy to announce the Donna 2018 Lightroom Preset Pack. I revamped my website just to make this happen. The pack comes with 12 presets that I fine-tuned over my time as a photographer. I tried to make them kind of varying so they're all over the place. They can be used in totally different situations. And I think you guys are gonna really like them. And as a little bonus to say thank you to everyone who follows me and subscribes to me, from this point until the end of July 2018, you can get the whole preset pack, all 12 of them, for $5 if you type in the code CHEAPPRESETS at checkout. Thank you so much in advance for supporting, and make sure to go cop them before the end of July so that you get the cheap presets. All the info for that is going to be in the description again, so you can watch this video and you can go catch that later. Now, for the thing that we all came here for, let's figure out how to use some presets. Now, first and foremost, there are some people out there who think that using presets on your photos is cheating, and I completely disagree with them. I think it's a really great building block, and I'm gonna tell you 4 reasons why I think using presets can help you up your photography game. The first one, and the most obvious one, is speed. Let's say you're shooting a wedding. You've got thousands and thousands of photos to edit. If you can find a preset that works even like as a starting place, that's gonna speed up your entire workflow so much. We're talking about hours and hours of work that you're saving. The second reason is consistency. It's a huge thing on Instagram that you wanna have like a consistent look. Using a preset is a great way to make that happen. You can go in and tweak individual settings on some photos, but by using a preset, you can get kind of an overall similar look between all the photos. The third reason I think using presets are good is for inspiration. If you pull up a photo and you're just kind of not sure what to do with it, a really cool thing can be to go scroll through some presets and get an idea of where this photo could go, or get several ideas, because sometimes 4 or 5 different presets might work on one photo. And then you'll have all these options of where do you really want to take it? Do you want it dark and moody? Do you want it bright? Do you want it saturated? Do you want it desaturated? So many options just to inspire you. And the fourth reason is to reverse engineer and learn from presets. So if you purchase some presets from your favorite creator, you can actually go through and see their settings, what they're using on their photos. And if you understand what all the settings mean in Lightroom, you can actually reverse engineer that and kind of get into their head and figure out what they were thinking, and then apply some of that stuff to your own photography later. So, enough trying to convince you that it's good. Leave a comment below, tell me what you think about using presets, whether you think it's a good thing or a bad thing, and let's get on with the tutorial part of it. So first and foremost, after you download presets from wherever you get them, whether they're mine or somebody else's, you're gonna need to import them into Lightroom. And how you do that is, when you're in Lightroom, you're gonna select a photo and you're gonna hit D to go to the Develop tab, or you can go up here and click here. Over on the left-hand side, there's a bunch of drop-down menus. Hit presets to open that. We're gonna hit the plus symbol, import presets. We're gonna go to wherever we saved our presets. So if you happen to have the Donna 2018 Lightroom Preset Pack 01, you're gonna go inside Donna Presets and you're gonna see all of them. Click the top one, hold shift, and click the bottom one, and then you're gonna click import. A Donna Presets folder is gonna pop up. All of the presets are inside it now. Now, you've got all the presets loaded into Lightroom. They're all available for you now to use. Let's get into using them. Now with my specific preset pack, I don't pull any punches. I'm not going easy on these. Some of these are like super saturated, some of them are really contrasty. These are real life examples of things that I've used on actual photos that I post to Instagram. So I'm not holding back at all. All 12 of these are very unique and work in a number of different situations. And to prove that, I asked you guys to send in some photos that I could actually play around with. So I'm gonna show you guys my process if I was to try and make a quick edit. I've got 11 photos that you guys sent me over on Instagram, and I'm gonna go through my presets and make some adjustments. One of the things that's really important to remember is that a preset isn't an end-all be-all solution. It can get you really close sometimes, but there's usually some other tweaking that you have to do. So it's really important to understand the settings and that kind of stuff within Lightroom, but it does get you really close, and it certainly gives you a step in a certain direction artistically. So typically what I would do first is I'm going to pop up a picture. So this first one, we've got a guy playing guitar, and then on the left-hand side, if I just hover over my first preset called Archery here, it's gonna automatically show me a preview of what that would look like. Now, in my opinion, it kind of blows things out and it's quite a bit saturated. Let's see if there's something else. Archetype is a little bit better. Backlit, freshly ground beans. Maybe a little too contrasty. It's already a contrasty photo. Give me a low fade. Oh, that's kind of cool. Golden oldie. We got kind of a vintage kind of fadey thing. Into the distance. That one's kind of nice. Lighthearted. That one's kind of moody and dark. Pink Panther. I'm not liking how the oranges look in that one. Sun silhouette. That's kind of cool with the blacks crushed down like that. Forest. That one's okay. Vintaggio. So I think out of all of those, Archetype was probably my favorite for this photo. So just to make it clear, the preset doesn't finish the process. What I would do is I would choose a preset that I think looks close or is at least going in the right direction for that photo. And then I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna mess a little bit with my exposure and potentially with my white balance, depending on if the white balance was right for the shot in the first place. So right now I'm thinking this one maybe looks a little bit underexposed for where I want it. I want it to be that kind of nice, warm, bright day. So I'm gonna bring this up just a little bit. And I like the colors, but it's maybe a little bit oversaturated. And by a little bit, I mean quite a bit. I really went hard on the saturation for that one. So we dial that back a little bit. And here's before and after. So that was like a 35-second edit. Pretty easy. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Next photo, quite dark, but a beautiful kind of landscape we've got going on here. I think what would be kind of cool for this is my preset Vintaggio. It's designed for shots that were taken that are a little bit underexposed or quite a bit underexposed, and it brings it up and it gives it kind of this cool vintage look. Maybe bring it up just a hair more on the exposure. Bring up the shadows a little bit more, get some detail in those mountains. I mean, at this point, maybe you could straighten out the horizon a little bit. That's looking pretty good. On to the next one. Yeah, nice bird here, so I'm just gonna flip through. Ooh, archery looks pretty cool. So I think it's between Pink Panther and archery. I think I like archery. And again, maybe bring the exposure up just a hair, and before and after. Very cool. Next one. So we got a portrait photo. This one's shot in a forest. Hey, I've got a preset called the forest. Let's see where that's at. Kind of dark and moody. Ooh, there we go. Into the distance. Super moody, super dark. Let's bring up the exposure just a hair. I don't want to bring it up too much because I like the kind of dark mood this has going on. So, before and after. Very cool. On to the next one. We got another portrait photo. Let's go from the top. Archery is a little intense. Archetype looks good. So for this one with the colors on the graffiti in the background, I feel like it would be cool to get something with some nice saturation to it. I think Archetype's probably the best. The orange is just a hair too much for me, so I'm just gonna go into my saturation in my HSL and dial back the orange a little bit. Maybe go to luminance and bring it up. And bring up the exposure a little bit. So, before, after. On to the next one. We got this creepy character, a dark, moody kind of look. Oh, I kind of actually really like backlit. So before and after. Before, after. Really cool. Love these photos, you guys. Thank you so much to everyone who sent in photos. So here's some nighttime photography. So we've gone through landscapes and portraits and animal photography. Now we've got some nighttime with the cool light trails. Ooh, Pink Panther's kind of cool on that one. It makes it like glow. Pull back the exposure just a little bit. There, I'm pretty happy with that one. Feels good. Before, after. A little bit of a fade, a little bit of an intensity with the colors, bring those reds out a lot, and we're good to go. This is another cool one, quite a bit underexposed, so we're gonna find something that works. This is one of the ones where it's kind of cool to go through your presets, but know you're gonna have to mess with things afterwards. I think I liked Gimme a Low Fade best. So we've put it on there, now we're gonna go into the exposure, bring that up, bring the shadows up. So we've got kind of this sad, desaturated kind of look. Let's try something else on this one too. Pink Panther. That one's pretty cool, before and after. On to the next one. This is a beautifully taken photo. So this is a great example of what I was talking about before. So out of the 12, probably 4 or 5 of them worked really cool with this photo, just need a couple of little tweaks. And it goes the other way too. Sometimes you'll get a photo that just none of them will work, and that's why it's important to understand what's going on in Lightroom and be able to do them from scratch if you have to. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't even know which one to pick here. I really liked freshly ground beans, I think, on this one. And then let's go in, go to basic, bring up my exposure. Lens corrections to get rid of the vignette. I mean, that's keeping it pretty natural looking. If you wanted to go crazy, backlit was a little bit more intense as far as everything going on there. Bring that up. That's very cool. So before and after. Love this photo. I had to leave one of a cat in there to honor our feline brothers and sisters. I think I like golden oldie on this one. I like it kind of faded out, like the cat's looking a little creepy. Just make a couple of little tweaks. You got before and after. And on to the last one, for all those family photographers out there, people taking pictures of their kids. I think this one might be my favorite. Pull down my highlights just a hair and expose it a little bit better for the skin. And the only other thing there is I think the reds are a little intense. So we're gonna go into HSL, into saturation. We're just gonna pull back the reds just a little bit. And that one's looking pretty cool. So before and after. Now, as you can see, not every preset works on every photo. That's not really how it works. What these are designed to do is to give you a little bit of inspiration and maybe make your life a little bit easier so you don't have to go through every time. If you just want to get an Insta banger up really quick, go through them, see which one you like the best on that specific photo, make a couple of tweaks before you export. But I must admit, on some of those, it gets you pretty close with the first click. Again, these presets are available at donadidit.com. They're going to be $5 until the end of July if you type in the code CHEAPPRESETS. If you have any questions about these, make sure to leave them in the comment box or hit me up on Instagram. It's @DonaDidIt. If you're having any problems whatsoever, let me know and I'll try and help out. Give this video a big thumbs up. It really does help tell YouTube to share the video around. If you want to be friends, click on the little circle and you can subscribe to the channel. You won't miss anything. That's nice. Or maybe check out this next video. I think you'll really like it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.